In Daniel chapter 9, we read one of the greatest prayers recorded, in my opinion, in the Bible. Daniel comes and he's been studying the prophecies of the Bible, and he comes to understand that the desolations on Jerusalem would be 70 years. And so he turns his face to the Lord God in Daniel chapter 9, verse 3. It says, "Then I turned my face to the Lord God, seeking him by prayer and supplications, with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. I prayed to the Lord God and made confession, saying, O Lord, the great and terrible God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and keep his commandments." If you just stop there, God keeps covenant with those who love him and keep his commandments, you would think that Daniel will then begin to tell God how he's been keeping his commandments, how he's been faithful to God all along. But he goes the opposite direction. The very next words are, "We have sinned and done wrong and acted wickedly and rebelled, turning aside from your commandments and your ordinances. We haven't listened to your servants, the prophets. We haven't listened to your messages, and we have continually rebelled against you." Verse 7, he says, "To you, Lord, belong righteousness, but to us confusion of face." He continues on in verse 8, "To you, Lord, O Lord, to us, Lord, belongs confusion of face, to our kings, our princes, our fathers, because we have sinned against you." And then verse 9, he says, "To you, the Lord our God, belong mercy and forgiveness, because we have rebelled against you. We have not obeyed your voice, the voice of the Lord our God, by following his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. All of us have transgressed and turned aside, refusing to obey. So God, because of that, to you belong mercy and forgiveness." See, Daniel recognizes that the experience of God's people is just like the experience of Israel. All of us sin and fall short. And we come to God and we see that God is one who keeps his covenant, that he is steadfast in his love for those who keep his commandments, and we find ourselves in a place where we know we have not kept his commandments. And so Daniel calls out, and he gives you and I the example to call out and to fall on the mercy and the forgiveness of a covenant-keeping God who, even when we fall short, holds out mercy and forgiveness to each one of us. Today, let your claim upon God not be your strength, but your brokenness. Reach out to the God who is a God of mercy and forgiveness, who longs to forgive you and to welcome you back into his embrace. Call upon him, and he will be faithful to be merciful and to forgive you.